Hi, friends. This is your old pal, Papa Dale. I'm a retired pastor, teacher, theologian, and professor with over 50 years of service to the Lord Jesus Christ. My name is Dale Warren. Professionally, I'm known in my writing, teaching, and lectures as D.A. Warren. But my friends just call me Papa Dale, so you call me Papa Dale too. You can see the details of my personal testimony, family life, education, and ministry experience in other videos on this playlist. So we're going to get right into today's topic. And what is today's topic? It is the Daniel lecture. And so this is the JHI, the Jan Hus Institute. This is the Bachelor of Arts in Biblical Literature degree program, the BA, and this is the lecture on the book of Daniel, which is the fifth of the 5 major prophets in the Bible. And so here we go. The book of Daniel is set during a tumultuous period in Jewish history known as the Babylonian exile around 605 BC. Nebuchadnezzar, the king of Babylon, conquered Jerusalem and deported many of the Jewish elite, including young Daniel and his friends, to Babylon. See Daniel 1, verses 1 through 7. Let me get my glasses on so I can see these notes better. There we go, that's better. Now, Babylon is located in modern-day Iraq, and it was a significant center of power and culture. This period of exile lasted for about 70 years, during which time Daniel rose to prominence in the Babylonian and later Persian empires. The book of Daniel serves multiple purposes. Primarily, it offers hope and encouragement to the Jewish exiles, assuring them that God is sovereign over the affairs of nations and that he will ultimately deliver his people. Additionally, Daniel's prophecies provide a timeline for future events, including the coming of the Messiah and the establishment of God's eternal kingdom. See Daniel 2, verse 44 and 7, 13 through 14. Now, there are several themes that run throughout the book of Daniel. Each offers profound insights for believers. And we have 4 listed: the sovereignty of God, faithfulness in adversity, prophecy and revelation, and divine deliverance. So let's look at the first one, the sovereignty of God. Despite the apparent power of earthly kingdoms, God is ultimately in control. This is evident in the dreams and visions that foretell the rise and fall of empires. See Daniel 2, 20 through 21, and 4, verse 17. Also, Daniel and his friends exemplify unwavering faith in God even when faced with death. Their stories inspire believers to remain faithful in the face of trials. Faithfulness in adversity is a really important theme in Daniel. Daniel 3, 16 through 18, and chapter 6, verse 10. Now, there is also the theme of prophecy and revelation. Daniel's visions provide a roadmap of future events, underscoring God's foreknowledge and the certainty of his plans. See Daniel 7, 1 through 14, and 9, 24 through 27. Also, divine deliverance is a theme. God's power to save is vividly demonstrated in the miraculous rescues of Daniel and of his friends, reinforcing the message that God is able to deliver his people. See Daniel 3, 24 through 25, and Daniel 6, verse 22. Now, Daniel's prophecies have been foundational in understanding eschatology. Eschatology is the study of final things. Daniel's visions in chapters 7 through 12, including the 4 beasts, the ram and the goat, and the 70 weeks, outline future events and the ultimate triumph of God's kingdom. These prophecies align also with the book of Revelation, providing a cohesive picture of the end times, which is interesting because the book of Revelation was written, 700 years later? So anyway, we have 4 prophecies of Daniel that are significant. The 4 beasts, the 70 weeks, the vision of the ram and the goat, and the kings of the north and the south. So let's look at those. The 4 beasts of Daniel 7 represent a succession of world empires. These beasts symbolize the rise and fall of nations, leading to the establishment of God's eternal kingdom. And there is the 70 weeks prophecy in Daniel 9. This prophecy outlines a timeline culminating in the coming of the Messiah and the end of sin. It's a crucial framework for understanding the chronology of end-time events. And then we have the vision of the ram and the goat in Daniel 8, and this symbolizes the Medo-Persian and Greek empires. This vision highlights the conflict and transition of power, leading to the rise of a little horn, often associated with the Antichrist in the end times. And then there is the kings of the north and the south in Daniel 11. This detailed prophecy describes conflicts between rival kingdoms, setting the stage for the final battles of the end times. Well, there are main characters in the book. There is Daniel. There is Daniel's 3 friends, Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. And then there are the kings, Nebuchadnezzar, Belshazzar, and Darius the Mede. Daniel is the central figure in the book. He's a young nobleman taken captive to Babylon. He quickly rises to prominence there due to his wisdom and ability to interpret dreams. Daniel's unwavering faith and obedience to God make him a model of righteousness. He serves in the courts of several kings, including Nebuchadnezzar, Belshazzar, Darius, and Cyrus. See Daniel chapters 1 through 6. We also see Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, Daniel's 3 friends. They are originally named Hananiah, Mishael, and Azariah, and you can read about their adventure in Daniel chapter 1, 7, and chapter 3, 16 through 18, where they get thrown into a fiery furnace and still survive. And then the 3 kings, Nebuchadnezzar in Daniel 2, verse 1, Belshazzar in Daniel 5, 1 through 30, and Darius the Mede in Daniel chapter 6. Well, the book of Daniel contains several types of Christ which foreshadow the coming Messiah. One type is the Son of Man. In Daniel 7:13 through 14, Daniel sees a vision of one like a Son of Man who is given dominion and glory, and this points to Jesus' messianic role and the eternal kingdom. Then there is the type of the stone in Nebuchadnezzar's dream. A stone not cut by human hands smashes the statue representing Christ's kingdom that will destroy all earthly kingdoms and last forever. See Daniel 2:34 through 35 and 44 through 45. There is also the angel of the Lord in the fiery furnace. A 4th figure appears with Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, and this is often interpreted as a pre-incarnate appearance of Christ. See Daniel 3, verse 25. So, you look for drama? There's drama in Daniel. Good night shirt. Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego refuse to worship Nebuchadnezzar's golden statue, and they're thrown into a blazing furnace. Now, this was a furnace that before they were thrown in there, the king ordered that it be made hotter and hotter and hotter and hotter. And it was so hot that it said that Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego were thrown in there, and the people who threw them in there died from the heat. That's pretty dramatic. Yet, miraculously, Daniel's friends emerged unharmed, and this showcases God's power to protect his faithful servants. See Daniel 3:19 through 27. And then there is the drama of the handwriting on the wall. During Belshazzar's feast, a mysterious hand writes on the wall, predicting the fall of Babylon. Daniel interprets the writing, and that very night the kingdom falls to the Medes and the Persians. See Daniel 5:1 through 30. Then there is the lion's den. Daniel's unwavering commitment to prayer leads to his being thrown into a lion's den. But God sends an angel to shut the lions' mouths, and Daniel is unharmed, demonstrating Yahweh's ability to deliver his faithful ones. See Daniel 6:16 through 23. Well, let's look at some literary analytical points. The first one that we always look at is the Hebrew idiom, and the Hebrew idioms in Daniel add depth to the text by conveying meanings that go beyond the literal. And we have the phrase, the handwriting on the wall, Daniel 5:5 through 31. This symbolizes an impending judgment or warning, as seen in the divine message written on the wall, predicting the fall of Babylon. Then there is the phrase, as it was in the days of Noah, in Daniel 7, verse 8. This idiom alludes to a time of wickedness and divine intervention, reflecting the end times and the coming judgment. Then there is a Hebrew idiom that says, the stone cut out without hands, Daniel 2:34 through 35. This refers to the messianic kingdom established by God, which symbolizes a divine intervention that will replace earthly kingdoms. And then we have a time, times, and a half time, Daniel 7:25. This indicates a period of persecution or tribulation, which is used to describe the duration of the suffering imposed by oppressive rulers. Well, let's look at the next analytical point, which is literature types. Daniel incorporates various literature types that contribute to the book's rich narrative and prophetic content. Identifying these types helps to understand the different ways the book conveys its messages. The first is narrative literature. This includes stories about Daniel and his friends in Babylon, their trials, and their faithfulness under pressure. See Daniel chapters 1 through 6. Then there is prophetic literature. This features visions and messages about future events and divine revelations, including the prophecies of the rise and fall of empires. See Daniel chapters 7 through 12. Then there is apocalyptic literature, and this contains vivid visions and symbolic imagery about the end times and cosmic battles, such as the visions of beasts and the coming of the Son of Man. See Daniel chapters 7 through 12. We also have the very important literary devices that are used in Daniel, which enrich its storytelling and prophetic visions. The first one that we look at today is symbolism, and it uses symbols like the writing on the wall to convey messages about judgment and the fall of Babylon. See Daniel 5:5-31. There is also personification, which assigns human traits to abstract concepts such as wisdom and understanding portrayed in Daniel's interpretation of dreams in Daniel 2:30. Also is the simile, and this compares things using the words like or as. And this is like comparing the radiance of the righteous to the brightness of the heavens. See Daniel 12, verse 3. Also in use is the literary type of the allegory, and this uses extended metaphors to convey deeper meanings, particularly in the apocalyptic visions of beasts and the heavenly kingdom. See Daniel chapter 7 and chapter 8. Well, these literary devices help convey complex theological themes and prophetic visions, making Daniel's messages both vivid and memorable. From an evangelical perspective, the authorship of the book of Daniel is attributed to the prophet Daniel, who writes in the 6th century BC. This view is also supported by the internal evidence where Daniel refers to himself in the first person, Daniel 7 verse 2, and the detailed historical accuracy found there, and the precise fulfillment of prophecies regarding future empires that are found there. See Daniel 2, 7-12. Jewish tradition and early Christian testimony, including endorsements from Jesus himself, see Matthew 24:15, further affirm Daniel's authorship. Well, archaeological discoveries have confirmed many details in the book of Daniel. They found inscriptions and documents from the period that mention figures like Belshazzar, who was once thought to be a fictional character, but now they confirm his historical existence and his role as a co-regent in Babylon. Key findings include the discovery of the Babylonian Chronicles, which confirm the fall of Babylon to the Medo-Persians, as described in Daniel 5. Additionally, the Nebuchadnezzar Chronicle provides detailed accounts of Nebuchadnezzar's reign, along with the events and descriptions found in Daniel. Well, there are a couple of quotations found in Daniel that have become Bible reader favorites. The first, Daniel 6:22, which says, "My God sent his angel, and he shut the mouths of the lions. They have not hurt me, because I was found innocent in his sight, nor have I ever done any wrong before you, your majesty." Also is 2 Daniel 7:13-14, which says, "In my vision at night I looked, and there before me was one like a son of man, coming with the clouds of heaven, and he approached the Ancient of Days and was led into his very presence. He was given authority, glory, and sovereign power. All nations and all peoples of every language worshipped him. His dominion is an everlasting dominion that will not pass away, and his kingdom is one that will never be destroyed." Well, are there implications in the book of Daniel for Christian living today? Yes, there are. The book of Daniel offers numerous lessons for modern believers. One is faith in adversity. God knows Daniel and his friends went through a lot of adversity and persecution and tribulation while they were in Babylon. Yet their unwavering faith in God, even when faced with death, encourages believers today to remain steadfast in our own faith during our own trials, which usually are less significant than the threat of death. Then there is God's sovereignty. Understanding that God is in control of history and future events provides comfort and assurance, especially in uncertain times. We also can look at prayer and devotion. Daniel's consistent prayer life is a powerful example of the importance of regular communication with God. Another idea is courage to stand for truth. That's an important implication in today's Christian living. The boldness of Daniel and his friends to stand up for their beliefs despite the consequences challenges believers to courageously uphold biblical truths in a secular world. And finally, we have hope in prophecy. The prophetic visions in Daniel point to the ultimate victory of God's kingdom, offering hope and encouragement for believers looking forward to Christ's return. These prophecies have been a cornerstone for understanding eschatology, the study of the end times, in Christian theology. And so in conclusion, the book of Daniel offers a rich tapestry of historical narratives and prophetic visions that inspire and challenge us today. Its themes of God's sovereignty, faithfulness, and prophecy provide a framework for understanding the past, present, and future. Now, this has been your old pal, Papa Dale. This is the year 2024. I typically remind you at this point that if you are studying, trying to earn the Bachelor of Arts in Biblical Literature degree, you must read these lecture notes in writing, in print, and as you do, and they are available, at a minimum, they are available on the video transcript that goes along with this video. I'll also try to put up a link to another source as well. But also, as you read through these, you are to stop your reading and look up every citation as it comes up. Now, if the citation is for multiple chapters, you don't need to look it up. You're already reading the Bible, reading this chapter, reading this book twice to earn that degree. So that's the name of that tune, which is an English idiom in the year 2024. So anyway, I'll just close out by saying, if the Lord will allow, I'll put up another video after this one. And until then, this is your old pal, Papa Dale, signing off and saying, I will be praying for you, and I do pray for you, that you will be blessed and that you will be well. I got those backwards. I usually say, be well and be blessed, but it's okay. Either way, whichever one is first, that works. Be well, be blessed.